Welcome to Study Session 9, Telecommunication 2, Introduction. This study session is a continuation of the previous study session. It discusses Internet technology and standards for wireless networking. You will also learn about Internet architecture and governance, as well as Internet services and communication tools. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to discuss how Internet and Internet technology work and support communication and e-business. Explain principal technologies and standards for wireless networking, communication, and Internet access. List and explain Internet services and communication tools. The concept of Internet. The Internet has become the world's most extensive public communication system that now rivals the global telephone system in reach and range. It's also the world's largest implementation of client-server computing and Internet working, linking millions of individuals' networks all over the world. This global network of networks began in the early 1970s as a U.S. Department of Defense network to link scientists and university professors around the world. Most homes and small businesses connect to the Internet by subscribing to an Internet service provider. An Internet service provider, ISP, is a commercial organization with a permanent connection to the Internet that sells temporary connections to retail subscribers. Link, Net Zero, AT&T, and Time Warner are ISPs. Individuals also connect to the Internet through their business firms, universities, or research centers that have designated Internet domains. There are a variety of services for ISP Internet connections. Connecting via a traditional telephone line and modem at a speed of 56.6 kilobytes per second, kbps, used to be the most common form of connection worldwide, but it has been largely replaced by broadband connections. Digital subscriber line, DSL, cable, satellite internet connections, and T-lines provide these broadband services. Digital subscriber line, DSL technologies operate over existing telephone lines to carry voice data and video at transmission rates ranging from 285 kilobytes per second all the way up to 9 millibytes per second. Cable internet connections provided by cable television vendors use digital cable coaxial lines to deliver high-speed internet access to homes and businesses. They can provide high-speed access to the internet up to 15 Mbps. In areas where DSL and cable services are unavailable, it is possible to access the internet via satellite, although some satellite internet connections have slower upload speeds than other broadband services. T1 and T3 are international telephone standards for digital communication. Internet addressing and architecture. The Internet is based on the TCP and IP networking protocol suite. Every computer on the Internet is assigned a unique Internet protocol IP address, which currently is a 32-bit number represented by 4 strings of numbers ranging from 0 to 255 separated by periods. For instance, the IP address of www.microsoft.com is 207.46.250.119. When a user sends a message to another user on the internet, the message is first decomposed into packets using the TCP protocol. Each packet contains its destination address. The packets are then sent from the client to the network server, and from there on to as many other servers as necessary to arrive at a specific computer with a known address. At the destination address, the packets are reassembled into the original message. The domain name system, because it will be incredibly difficult for internet users to remember strings of 12 numbers. The domain name system, DNS, converts domain names to IP addresses. The domain name is the English-like name that corresponds to the unique 32-bit numeric IP address for each computer connected to the internet. DNS servers maintain a database containing IP addresses mapped to their corresponding domain names. To access a computer on the internet, users need only specify its domain name. DNS has a hierarchical structure. At the top of the DNS hierarchy is the root domain. The child domain of the root is called a top-level domain, and the child domain of a top-level domain is called a second-level domain. The most common domain extensions currently available and officially approved are shown in the following list. Countries also have domain names such as UK, AU, and FR, United Kingdom, Australia, and France, respectively. .com, commercial, organizations, business, edu, educational institutions, gov, U.S. government agencies, mil, U.S., military.net, networkcomputers.org, non-profit organizations and foundations, business firms, info information providers. Internet architecture and governance. Internet data traffic is carried over transcontinental high-speed backbone networks that generally operate today in the range of 45 megabytes per second to 2.5 gigabytes per second. See figure 7 to 9. These trunk lines are typically owned by long-distance telephone companies called network service providers, or by national governments. Local connections lines are owned by regional telephone and cable television companies in the United States that connect retail users in homes and businesses to the internet. The regional networks lease access to ISPs, private companies, and government institutions. Each organization pays for its own networks and its own local internet connection services, a part of which is paid to the long-distance trunk line owners. Individual internet users pay ISPs for using their service, and they generally pay a flat subscription fee, no matter how much or how little they use the internet. Internet services and communication tools. The internet is based on client-server technology. Individuals using the internet control what they do through client applications on their computers, such as web browser software. The data, including email messages and web pages, are stored on servers. A client uses the internet to request information from a particular web server on a distant computer, and the server sends the requested information back to the client over the internet. Internet services. A client computer connecting to the internet has access to a variety of services. These services include email, electronic discussion groups, chatting and instant messaging, telnet, File Transfer Protocol, FTP, and the web. Each internet service is implemented by one or more software programs. All of the services may run on a single server computer, or different services may be allocated to different machines. Chatting enables two or more people who are simultaneously connected to the internet to hold live interactive conversations. Chat systems now support voice and video chat as well as written conversations. Many online retail businesses offer that services on their websites to attract visitors, to encourage repeat purchases, and to improve customer service. Instant messaging is a type of chat service that enables participants to create their own private chat channels. The instant messaging system alerts the user whenever someone on his or her private list is online so that the user can initiate a chat session with other individuals. Instant messaging systems for consumers include Yahoo Messenger, Google Talk, and Windows Live Messenger. Companies concerned with security use proprietary instant messaging systems such as Lotus, same time. News groups are worldwide discussion groups posted on internet electronic bulletin boards on which people share information and ideas on a defined topic, such as radiology or rock bands. Anyone can post messages on these bulletin boards for others to read. Many thousands of groups exist that discuss almost all conceivable topics. Employee use of email, instant messaging, and the internet is supposed to increase worker productivity, but the accompanying interactive session on management shows that this may not always be the case. Many company managers now believe they need to monitor and even regulate their employees' online activities. But is this ethical? Although there are some strong business reasons why companies may need to monitor their employees' email and web activities, what does this mean for employee privacy? Voice over IP, the internet, has also become a popular platform for voice transmission and corporate networking. Voice over IP, VoIP technology delivers voice information in digital form using packet switching, avoiding the tolls charged. Client computers running web browser and other software can access an array of services on servers over the internet. These services may all run on a single server or on multiple specialized servers. Voice calls can be made and received with a computer equipped with a microphone and speakers or with a VoIP-enabled telephone. Cable firms such as Time Warner and Cablevision provide VoIP service bundled with their high-speed internet and cable offerings. Skype offers free VoIP worldwide using a peer-to-peer network, and Google has its own free VoIP service. Although there are upfront investments required for an IP phone system, VoIP can reduce communication and network management costs by 20 to 30%. Companies no longer have to maintain separate networks or provide support services and personnel for each different type of network. Another advantage of VoIP is its flexibility. Unlike the traditional telephone network, phones can be added or moved to different offices without rewiring or reconfiguring the network. With VoIP, a conference call is arranged by a simple click and drag operation on the computer screen to select the names of the conferees. Voicemail and email can be combined into a single directory. Unified communications in the past. Each of the firm's networks for wired and wireless data, voice communications, and video conferencing operated independently of each other and had to be managed separately by the Information Systems Department. Now, however, firms are able to merge disparate communications modes into a single universally accessible service using unified communications technology. Virtual private networks. What if you had a marketing group charged with developing new products and services for your firm with members spread across the United States? You would want to be able to email each other and communicate with the home office without any chance that outsiders could intercept the communications. In the past, one answer to this problem was to work with large private networking firms who offered secure, private, dedicated networks to customers. But this was an expensive solution. A much less expensive solution is to create a virtual private network within the public internet. A virtual private network, VPN, is a secure, encrypted, private network that has been configured within a public network to take advantage of the economies of scale and management facilities of large networks, such as the internet. A VPN provides your firm with secure, encrypted communications at a much lower cost than the same capabilities offered by traditional non-internet providers who use their private networks to secure communications. The web. You've probably used the web to download music, to find information for a term paper, or to obtain news and weather reports. The web is the most popular internet service. It's a system with universally accepted standards for storing, retrieving, formatting, and displaying information using a client and server architecture. Web pages are formatted using hypertext with embedded links that connect documents to one another and that also link pages to other objects, such as sound, video, or animation files. When you click a graphic and the video clip plays, you have clicked a hyperlink. A typical website is a collection of web pages linked to a home page. Hypertext web pages are based on a standard hypertext markup language, HTML, which formats documents and incorporates dynamic links to other documents and pictures stored in the same or remote computers. HTTP is a communication standard used to transfer pages on the web. For example, when you type a web address in your browser, such as www.sec.gov, your browser sends an HTTP request to the sec.gov server requesting the home page of sec.gov. The directory path and document name are two more pieces of information within the web address that help the browser track down the requested page. Together, the address is called a Uniform Resource Locator, URL. Web servers. A web server is a software for locating and managing stored web pages. It locates the web pages requested by a user or the computer where they are stored and delivers the web pages to the user's computer. Server applications usually run on dedicated computers, although they can all reside on a single computer in a small organization. The most common web server in use today is Apache HTTP server, which controls 54% of the market. Apache is an open source product that is free of charge and can be downloaded from the web. Microsoft Internet Information Services is the second most commonly used web server, with a 25% market share. Searching for information on the web, no one knows for sure how many web pages there really are. The surface web is the part of the web that search engines visit and about which information is recorded. For instance, Google visited about 100 billion pages in 2010, and this reflects a large portion of the publicly accessible web page population. But there is a deep web that contains an estimated 900 billion additional pages, many of them proprietary, such as the pages of the Wall Street Journal online, which cannot be visited without an access code, or that are stored in protected corporate databases. Search engines. Obviously, with so many web pages, finding specific web pages that can help you or your business nearly instantly is an important problem. The question is, how can you find the one or two pages you really want and need out of billions of indexed web pages? Search engines attempt to solve the problem of finding useful information on the web nearly instantly and agreeably. They are the killer app of the internet era. Today's search engines can sweep through HTML files, files of Microsoft Office applications, PDF files, as well as audio, video, and image files. There are hundreds of different search engines in the world, but the vast majority of search results are supplied by three top providers: Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft's Bing search engine. Search engine websites are so popular that many people use them as their own page, the page where they start surfing the web. As useful as they are, no one expected search engines to be big money makers. Today, however, search engines are the foundation for the fastest growing form of marketing and advertising: search engines marketing. Web 2.0. Today's websites don't just contain static content. They enable people to collaborate, share information, and create new services and content online. These second-generation interactive, internet-based services are referred to as Web 2.0. If you have shared photos over the internet at Flickr or another photo site, posted a video to YouTube, created a blog, used Wikipedia, or added a widget to your Facebook page, you've used some of these Web 2.0 services. Web 2.0 has four defining features: interactivity, real-time user control, social participation, sharing, and user-generated content. The future web. Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, and Amazon are all trying to increase the odds of people finding meaningful answers to search engine queries. But with over 100 billion web pages indexed, the means available for finding the information you really want are quite primitive, based on the words used on the pages and the relative popularity of the page among people who use those same search terms. In other words, it's hit and miss. To a large extent, the future of the web involves developing techniques to make searching the 100 billion public web pages more productive and meaningful for ordinary people. Web 1.0 solved the problems of obtaining access to information. Web 2.0 solved the problem of sharing that information with others and building new web experiences. Web 3.0 is the promise of a future web where all this digital information, all these contracts can be woven together into a single meaningful experience. Sometimes this is referred to as the semantic web. Semantic refers to meaning. Most of the web's content today is designed for humans to read and for computers to display, not for computer programs to analyze and manipulate. Study session summary. In this study session, we showed how the internet and internet technology work and how they support communication and e-business, the principal technologies and standards for wireless networking, communication, and internet access. Finally, we listed and explained the various types of internet services and communication tools. End of study session 9. Thank you for listening.